What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster-in-chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a Simic deck. And through some of the new cards from New Capenna, you can play Simic with some of the usual sort of Simic ramp payoffs without necessarily needing to ramp. Of course, I'm talking about Fight Rigging. It's another Fight Rigging deck. But this time in Simic colors, and it's been pretty damn nice. I think I'm onto something, but we may test it out first in Unranked before we play any Mythic ladder. I do think that this is somewhere between serious jank episode and, you know, an actual competitive deck. It's somewhere in between there, which is why I didn't preface this with a serious jank, but it's almost there. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Simic Fight Rigging. I'm gonna do the usual, take it from the top. I'll describe the deck for you guys from left to right. I'll explain to you why it is that I've picked these cards, how it is that they synergize with the other cards in the deck, and then what some of the various play lines and interactions might be. And then we'll jump into some gameplay footage. Hopefully get to show off as many of those play lines and interactions for you guys against some opponents on the first unranked and then hopefully mythic ranked ladder for you. So you can see me, you know, try out as many of those play lines and interactions as possible. And then we'll jump into some final thoughts at the end. And if I make some adjustments to the brew along the way, then that's usually when I like to discuss it. So, we've got in the 1-drop slots, 3 Fading Hopes, 3 Tamiyo Safekeepings. These are going to be, you know, they both serve quite a few purposes. You can either, you know, save your own creatures, or you can bounce on your opponent's creatures. The Scry is obviously fantastic. And Tamiyo Safekeeping can be used both for our creatures and our Fight Rigging, because it can protect a permanent, giving it hexproof and indestructible. Also, the additional 2 life gain is just the cherry on top. Then, as far as our 2-drop slots, we've got Make Disappear. It's such a good card. Slowly but surely. I mean, it's just counter target spell, period. Controller needs to pay 2. It's just like an altogether better Jawari Disruption, in my opinion. Yes, sure, it's not a MDFC, so you don't get the land as well, if necessary. But we've got lots of little casualties that we can sacrifice to it, making it just even better. So we've gone with 3 Mech Disappears as our target, you know, our counter spell of choice, but it's not the only one. Then we've got full play set of Gala Greeters. In the initial version of this deck, this was actually the Innkeeper, but I decided it wasn't that important to ramp. You know, to play a turn 2 Innkeeper usually means you're kind of skipping turn 3 and going straight to a turn 4. Whereas here we want to be playing our Fight Rigging on turn 3 most of the time. So it's okay to sort of not get that treasure straight away on turn 2 from an Innkeeper. And then the upside of switching to the Gala Greeters is that, you know, we have the Reservoir Kraken, which we'll get to in a second, is one of the sources of, first of all, little creatures to sacrifice to the Make Disappear with these little 1/1 fish that it poops out, but it's also going to be triggering our Gala Greeters every time that one of these little fish come out, and you know, the Innkeeper gains you 1 life for each one of these things comes out. Since we've also got Koma, which is the second source of stuff to sacrifice to Make Disappear or to trigger our Gala Greeters, then we can have sometimes 2 or 3 tokens entering the field per turn, and the flexibility of, like, okay, we need life this time, so let's go for the life gain option. Okay, we're a little bit low on mana, we'd like to ramp next turn. Okay, let's make the treasure. Okay, I want to have my you know, 2-drop just keep growing throughout the game so that I can, it itself becomes a threat. Let's go for option number 1. So it's a little bit more versatile than the Innkeeper, and it's rotation proof. So I thought, hey, let's try this out instead. And now in testing, it's just been one of the best decisions I've had with the deck today. The little edits that I made, this one was really spot on. Then, second counter spell, we've got Decisive Denial, which also happens to be our 1 removal spell. We've got to choose either target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. We often got some pretty beefy guys, not only because we're buffing them up every turn with Fight Rigging, because they just happen to be beefy. The Reservoir Kraken is a 4 mana 6/6, and as well as the Koma. So, usually the turn they come into play, they become 7/7s through the Fight Rigging. And then you can get rid of quite a lot of stuff with Decisive Denial. I wish it could also target Planeswalkers. And there are spells that I have been liking that do similar sort of position. Master's Rebuke, I believe it was. Here it is. But it doesn't have the versatility of also being a counter-target non-creature spell. So I've gone with Decisive Denial instead. Then we've got, in the 3-drop slot, Fight Rigging, of course. Major targets, obviously Koma. We want to be hitting our Koma most of the time, but you can also get a Glorious Sunrise under there, a Tamiyo, sometimes having one of the fight spells, having the thing that, you get the thing to be a 7/7, you hit the fight spell for free after Fight Rigging, get to remove a blocker, and slam in for victory. There's just depending on the board state, you'll know what to put under the rigging. But most of the time, if you can hit a Koma, then that's the main hit, right? Then we've got Quandrix Command. Another bounce effect. So alongside Fading Hope, that brings it up to 5 total bounce effects. But it's also nice for putting counters on things. Also for getting some stuff from our graveyard back into our library. There's plenty of reasons why Quandrix Command is a pretty nice fit in the deck. Going with 2 copies. Don't want to have like too many opening hands with like 2 Quandrix Commands in them, but you just deck them at some point. Even in the late game, it can be really, really handy just to bounce that big threat the opponent was building up, so that you get the chance to maybe counter it on the way down or what have you. Then, the main card that we're going to be using to flip our Fight Rigging early is Reservoir Kraken. We can go turn 3 Fight Rigging, exile a Koma in an ideal world, the sort of perfect line with this deck. Turn 3 Fight Rigging, turn 4 Reservoir Kraken. Put the counter on the Reservoir Kraken, becomes a 7/7, and you get your free card. Then we've got some card draw in the form of Toski, Bearer of Secrets. This is such a good idea in this deck. First of all, it can't be countered. It's just really nice on turn 4. I've been finding, like, usually against Izzet, that's at the point when they've like already had the chance to do their expressive iteration, and now they're holding up mana. So you play your Toski. It's a nice place to put the counters from the Fight Rigging because it's indestructible. Keeps getting bigger every turn. It's pretty nice. As well as the fish that the Reservoir Kraken poops out are unblockable. So, if you've just got 2 or 3 of these little fish down and a Toski, suddenly you're drawing 3-4 cards every turn. It's really, 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 really nice. Then we've got the Glorious Sunrise. This is in here to give our Koma and all of the little coils that it poops out trample at some point. If it's one of those games where we're going really wide and we're getting loads of our little Koma coils and loads of our little fish, then we can start buffing everyone by +1/+1 and giving them trample until end of turn. But also the ability to use this card for some card draw, because we almost always have creatures with power 3 or greater on the battlefield, or the life gain is just amazing. So kind of all the modes except for the one where you get to add some mana. It could come in handy sometimes. You might be what you need just to get a Koma onto the board early without getting it off the Fight Rigging, just casting one. But most of the time we're going for the other 3 options. Then Tamiyo, playing Simic. You want to have a Planeswalker in most of your brews, just to sort of round things out, have a bit of every type of creature, every type of card, and Tamiyo just makes perfect sense. And this one, you can use it to bring back a fight rigging if it gets removed quite on the cheap. You can use it to tap down the opponent's creatures or artifacts, rendering them, ineffective for the next turn. There's just so many good reasons why this is a great little planeswalker. And if you ever do get the -7 off, then that's obviously just nice in general. Card draw, spell reduction, cost, just really, really nice all around. Value planeswalker that just kind of keeps the deck ticking along. And then, of course, we'll Koma here on the top end, which is still just an amazing card, even though it's been perhaps a little bit eclipsed of late by things like Titan of Industry, Jin-Gitaxias, what have you. It's still a really, really good top end for any sort of deck. And indestructible by sacrificing one of the coils, and the fact that it is multicolored just means it can dodge a lot of removal, and you can also use those coils to sort of tap down the opponent's creatures and render them ineffective. So just amazing. The fact that those serpents just keep coming out when we have a deck that is loving creatures entering the battlefield because of Gala Greeters and, like I've mentioned before, stuff to sacrifice to make disappear. It's just amazing. And that's the deck. As far as the mana base goes, there is a sweet little addition which people don't play enough of, I don't think, is Littjara Mirrorlake. You can pay 5 mana. 5 mana, and you can, two colorless, 2 green, and 1 blue. Sacrifice it, and you create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control, except it enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. Really nice way of getting an additional Reservoir Kraken going. These things can spiral out of control pretty quickly. The opponent tends to, if you put a few fight rigging counters on them, they're so big and they have trample and the ward, the opponent just wants to tap it down whenever they get the chance to. And it's such a nice payoff. You get this little 1/1 instead, which seems like nothing, but when you've got 3, 4, 5 of these 1/1s and you keep putting more and more counters on them with the fight rigging, eventually the fact that they can't be blocked is wins you the game. And with Toski, the card draw is just amazing. Anyway, just loads of cool little synergies. I've been having lots of fun with this one, and I hope the performance continues enough that I feel confident to play a bit of ranked at the end of the video as well. We've got Hall of the Storm Giants, Otawara, 2 Boseijus, 1 Mirrorlake I've already touched upon, and Lair of the Hydra. The rest are just deals and basics as always. That's our brew for tonight. Simic Fight Rigging. Let's jump into some games. Pow. Pow. It probably is ladder ready. I'm just such a pansy when it comes to Simic. It's just not my strong suit, and so I always feel a bit like unconfident, whereas perhaps I should. This feels like very strong there. Terrible hand. A little better. Ooh, black. That's not good for our Gala Greeters. Let's not, it comes into play as a 1/1. You can just Deadly Dispute or whatever, and, he's probably got removal. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. I'm gonna go with double blue. Okay, got the land. Anyway, hopefully we top deck a Kraken ASAP. Wow, that's terrible. Hey, sometimes you just get this. Nothing lines up, none of the play lines, the curve goes all wrong. Your 2-drop gets snagged. Okay, he's gonna just transform the Valky. That's one less damage coming our way. Pretty happy about that, I say. Oh! Top deck city. I mean, right? Bounce the Valky, we get... He'll probably just cast it again, no? Well, what can you do? At least I'll have to pay to transform it into the Gala Greeters again, blah 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 blah. Sure. It's still an annoyance. Probably should have gone for the fight spell instead, under the fight rigging in that case. Opponent seems to be bricking nicely. Woohoo! Nice. It's terrible to do it during his turn because now we untap anyway. Time for some Tamiyos. I think I'm gonna go for the life loss so that I get to hold up the safekeeping.
Go. Share the story of Phyrexia with your people. Such an imperfect form.
Start putting it on the counters on the unblockable threat. Oh, come on. Oh well, the opponent bricked a little bit. That was definitely very easy. But still got to show off a few of the major sort of things. Just a bit of bad luck on the fight rigging. Didn't hit anything fantastic there. Let's get a Koma on the board. That'll be nice. Arth Dad. It's a bit terrible. Also could be a lot worse. Although it does appear as though we have hit one of these unranked Q life gain decks. Oh! Come on. Knew it. Oh yay, this is gonna be super dull. Oh, we just need one more mana. Oh, that feels so good. Sorry, buddy. No Trellisara for you. Hopefully we get a land. Yes! I am invincible! Also, the ward, when it comes down on turn 4, is just, you know, makes it just a little bit harder to remove as well, so they don't, like, get to do anything to it. Even if he had a Fateful Absence now, he wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Let's grow our threat. Skadoosh. Oh, here comes Koma. Here comes the Koma, baby. You and you giving us the additional trigger on the Gala Greeters. Why, thank you. Oh baby, Fight Rigging is just such a good card, man. I get just makes me happy. Getting to see the you know, reasoning behind the Gala Greeters, just 2 life, +1/+1, and a treasure, all within 1 turn, most turns. Once we start to get the opponent to freak out about that Kraken, and we're getting those little fishies every turn. And if we can land a Koma as well. Oh, yeah. Okay, this feels pretty good. I think we can definitely try a couple ranked games. Watch us like just go straight up against Boros and like get slammed out on like turn 4. Ugh, terrible. Although, all we need is a green source within the next 2 turns and we're good. And counter something on turn 2. Oop. Come on, land. Yes! Okay, it's probably a Doomscar. Go for a Planeswalker. It's not so coming, unless he top decked one.
To carry true history to the other world.
Even if we get Doomscarred, we can bring back our own Kraken with the Tamiyo.
Bow before Phyrexia.
Zap. And we have backup Kraken in hand.
Reforge your memories.
Let's lead with that so we can hold up the Mech Disappear. Or Decisive Denial. Okay. Casualty. Would have been nicer to do on a fish, of course. We got our acting boy coming through. What are the chances that's a third Doomscar? Let's go for this.
You cannot delay our
Draw a
victory.
card. Boop. Nice. Very nice. Imagine that's a third Doomscar. Wouldn't be surprised. Ouch.
Our will cannot be denied.
Farewell is so OP. This is some kind of like Bant control deck. Fateful Absence. Wow. Wow. What an ass. What an ass. Unbelievable, mate.
You do not write this story. In time, you will welcome us. You cannot delay our victory.
Cool. No. No card drawing. Come on, deck.
Our will cannot be denied.
Koma off the top, please. Now that we've drawn all these lands. Oh my lord.
You cannot delay our victory.
Real charming fellow. How extremely CGB-esque of you, my friend. I'll take that card.
A minor setback, but victory is inevitable.
Please no more lands. Please no more lands. Please no more lands. Okay. That's a tool at our disposal.
sure as the moon rises, so too shall Phyrexia ascend.
Sure. Hee hee. Wow. Unbelievable stuff.
Bow before Phyrexia.
Where's Koma? So good. Oh, that feels good. I can swing with the Froghemoth at the Tamiyo. We won't kill it, and then we can. It's kind of just repeating the previous. Wow. Okay. What a piece of work, man. It's really the most disgusting cut there. Oh. So strange to play all of those sweepers and then have Froghemoth as the like interesting idea. Deck idea. Bant control with Froghemoth. Please, Koma. I haven't seen a single Koma. Please, give me that Koma, baby. Oh, come on. I know you want to. Oh, this is just the worst. There he is. Oh, freaking time. I think we're gonna have to use or we're gonna lose pretty quickly. That just lost us the game, I think. Almost certainly. Oh, why hello there. That is a fight spell. Opponent? Unbelievable, this guy. Unbelievable, this guy. Just the worst human being. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Otawara. What a lucky human. Good game. Unbelievable. That was great fun though. Well played, opponent. Like, what a back and forth. That disgusting CGP-esque pile of nonsense going on here. And just Starnheim unleashed as one of the win cons probably, and just endlessly bounce and kill and destroy everything that I play. Terribly annoying. Almost had him. Alright. Let's jump into a couple of ranked matches. We may have time for about 2 of them. See how the deck performs on the rank ladder. Hopefully just don't run into, like, straight away Boros burn, as I said, and they slam us out by turn 4. But if we can land that Kraken, it's pretty hard for them to get rid of. Can get an early Koma down with the fight rigging. Would be pretty game ending. So let's give it a whirl. First mythic game with this deck. Sushi udon. Sure. Let's top deck fight rigging. Counter magic and safekeeping available. Ooh. Grixis Reanimator detected. X is 1. No, I was maybe expecting a MYTHIC massacre. Fortunately, we don't have the counter spell up. We could reanimate Jin now. So screwed. Although, that's also quite nice. And that's also very nice. Bugger off. It's nice when you're rigging a rigging. And then we're going to put another rigging down. fine. Jin Gataxius isn't going to stop us from doing this. Oof. And we got another fight spell. Nice. Pretty cool. Lucky I mean, Jin is just... I love Jin so much. If he was like a 6-6, I would love it that much more. 5-5, like, it's just a little bit too weenie, in my opinion, for the cost. I mean, the text box is obviously amazing, but like, it was just a 6-6. Can't even stand toe-to-toe with a 4-drop. Alright. Nice. Little win in Mythic. I don't know if we have time for another one. I think we don't have time, guys. I need to actually get editing. I had a look. It's like 3 in the morning. So that's going to have to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Crowning what was a very fun evening with a lovely win on Mythic with my little brew. So jumping back in with my final thoughts, overall deck review, and potential modifications. I don't know, guys. It feels pretty sweet. Such a cool deck. Like, getting to play some cards that I haven't gotten a chance to play almost ever, because I don't play much Simic. Koma, first of all, amazing. Toski, fantastic. We got to see him doing some card drawing there for us in the last match. Just all the cards like are not the cards that I typically play a lot with, and just having a lot of fun with it. So I hope you guys take this one for a spin. Let me know your results in the comments. How, if at all, did you make any adjustments and changes, and why? I always love to hear that stuff. But that's going to be it for tonight's video. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, join our lovely Discord community. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.